CTV News at 5 with Marina Moore and Tony Rima with weather.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. We begin with news from Timmins. Police say they're investigating a homicide and the suspect remains at large. There's been a noticeable police presence all day in the Balsam and Cedar Street North area of the city. Timmins police say a man was found shortly after midnight suffering from significant injuries. There had been reports of shots fired in the area. The victim was taken to hospital where he was pronounced deceased. Police say a firearm was seized at the scene, but the suspect has not yet been located. Investigators say the suspect and victim were known to each other. Ontario Provincial Police are asking the public for help in locating a federal offender who could be here in the north. The Repeat Offender Parole Enforcement Squad has put out a Canada-wide warrant for 55-year-old Régent Hermel-Perron. Police say he is 5'1" and has brown hair and blue eyes, and that he's known to frequent the Timmins area. He's serving a 6-month, 27-day sentence for breaching of long-term supervision order and obstructing a peace officer. In an email to CTV News, the OPP confirms Perron was last seen on July 30th at the Bath Institute near Kingston. And this isn't the first time police have been searching for his whereabouts. To learn more, go to our website, ctvnewsnorthernontario.ca. 2 people have been arrested in North Bay as police say they seized around $117,000 worth of suspected illicit drugs, nearly $15,000 in Canadian currency, and 2 pellet handguns. Police say it was part of a street crime unit investigation. A 32-year-old female from Sunridge and a 30-year-old male from North Bay faced a list of charges and are being held in custody pending a bail hearing. Sudbury police are searching for a female suspect wanted for drug trafficking charges. 28-year-old Yasmin Santos is wanted on 2 counts of drug trafficking after a major drug bust in February. At the time, officers seized $150,000 worth of illicit drugs and arrested 2 people from southern Ontario. Time now for our first check on weather, and everyone's keeping a close watch with the long weekend kicking off. For details, we go to CTV's Rick Wyman, filling in for Tony Rima, and well, for some of us, it's not the greatest start, Rick.
Well, Marina, you put me on the spot because I show up after all this time and we've got rain in the forecast. We've got Environment Canada. Severe rainfall warnings, especially in Wawa for this evening and overnight. Rainfall warnings throughout the northeast, anywhere from 20 to 30 millimeters in Sudbury alone, 30 to 40 for this evening. More tomorrow. Wawa severe rainfall warning, 10 to 20 millimeters. We'll take a look at the 5-day forecast and some of those details brought to you by CAA. Get your membership today at caa.ca. Marina?
All right, thanks for that, Rick. Big news today as the federal government has given the green light for the Crawford Nickel project in Northern Ontario as part of Ottawa's efforts to fast-track major projects in the country. It's an open-pit nickel cobalt mine and on-site metal mill about 40 kilometers north of Timmins. The project is expected to attract a $5 billion in investment and could create up to 4,000 new jobs for the decades to come. It's expected to bring in $70 billion in GDP impact over the 40-year life of the mine.
This is a major milestone for any mining project. We're the first mining project to be permitted underneath the 2019 legislation. So that's an example of just how few projects get to this milestone. So, it's great work by our team to be able to get to this point in just under 7 years from the 5th drill hole. It's a compliment to the community in Timmins and the support we've got from the local First Nations, local communities, and then as well from the Major Projects Office and the province in terms of being able to get here this quickly.
Selby says it would be the Western world's largest nickel sulfide operation if it were fully ramped up today. In a statement, the Environment Minister says the potential environmental effects are justified when taking into account the benefits the project will provide. The federal government has announced it's investing just over $2.7 million to bring 2 defense sector-related projects to life. Canada's Minister of Jobs and Families and the minister responsible for FedNor, Patty Hajdu, was in North Bay today to announce $1.5 million to the International Test Pilot School of Canada to assist in the relocation of its tactical training centre to the Jack Garland Airport. The repayable funds will go toward the renovation of its hangar. The other half of the repayable funding will be used to help Scotty Cyber Defence Corporation develop and commercialize its Frostbow AI cyber defence system.
The commitment that the Prime Minister has made is that not only are we going to be able to defend ourselves, we're going to be able to participate and continue to participate in NATO at speed where needed and as required.
We have 65 employees here today, 50 of which are locals. So huge for North Bay. And ITTC, it's one of 4 privately owned companies in the world that offer the training service that we provide. So like you said, world stage, that's what we are.
In the last year, cyber threat accounted for $12.5 trillion in losses worldwide. That's because companies are not being adequately protected against cyber threat.
The federal government says today's announcement aligns with Ottawa's defense investment strategy, a $6.6 billion plan to prioritize building military equipment at home and boost the share of defense contracts awarded to Canadian firms. Time now for a quick break. Coming up on CTV News at 5, Rick has your full weather forecast. For now, though, let's take a live look at conditions in Sudbury, where some very dark clouds are rolling in. Will they be sticking around? That's after the break.
Well, here it is, a long weekend for some. After all, some people do have to work on Civic Holiday Monday, but for the most part, it's a long weekend. So again, we've got some precipitation in the forecast to start things off beginning this evening. Our forecast radar, you can see that mass. A lot of unstable weather. Low pressure system moving into the northeast, continuing tonight and into tomorrow. And again, some of those rainfall totals like 30 to 40 millimeters for Sudbury for tonight overnight. 20 to 30 across the board, and in Wawa again some severe rainfall activity. So again, precipitation rolling in. Let's check out some of the numbers. Greater Sudbury for tomorrow, risk of thunderstorms, and again 10 to 20 millimeters of rain, 22 your high. Chance of showers Sunday, a lot better, 23 your high. 26 Monday, Tuesday, pretty well sunny skies, and Wednesday chance of showers 26 as well. Moving on over to Sault Ste. Marie, it gets prettier as well. Risk of thunderstorms for tomorrow, some precipitation, 22 your high, 10 to 20 millimeters. Sunday 24, 25 Monday, Tuesday sun and cloud 26. You've got to like this forecast, and the chance of showers come Wednesday at 24. Timmins escaping the brunt of precipitation. Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing clearing tomorrow 20, 23 sun and cloud Sunday. Monday 26, 28 Tuesday some sun and cloud. Chance of showers, rain activity Wednesday again at 26. Temiskaming Shores and Kirkland Lake, again, risk of thunderstorms coming off the heels of tonight's rain. Again, 10 to 20 millimeters, 20 your expected high tomorrow. Sunday, sun and cloud. Monday, sunny skies. Tuesday, sunny skies. I love it. 22, 25, 27. And the chance of showers come Wednesday. Again, a very popular number for Wednesday of next week with a hint of precipitation at 26. North Bay, West Nipissing, the bulk of your rain happening overnight into tomorrow. Risk of thunderstorms 21. Chance of showers, we've got 22 on Sunday. Then it gets better. Monday, Tuesday, it's kind of like a delayed reaction to everything that's happening. 25, 26, and the chance of showers come Wednesday, 26 degrees. So Marina, here we go. We want nice weather for a long weekend. It's going to be a shaky start beginning this evening. Overnight and continuing into tomorrow, then it starts to pick up. A much better looking Sunday. Back to you.
All right, well, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Thank you for that, Rick. And as you mentioned, the long weekend is here. And as you know, police will be out enforcing the rules of the road. Also, if you're traveling, the cost of gas may impact plans. More from CTV's Madison Merrier.
While gas prices have steadily increased as of late, one gas expert says this long weekend will give drivers a break.
Markets are operating at a pace that they've never seen before. They're basically saying Well, there's no worries about fundamentals. Supply may be critically low, historically low, but we just don't care. And so for that reason, we're seeing oil drop. We're seeing gasoline drop as a result. On Saturday, net decrease of 6 cents a liter wholesale for gasoline here in Northern Ontario.
McTagg says gas prices will be lower over the weekend and advises drivers to hold off on filling the tank for even better deals.
You're coming from Southern Ontario, don't fill up in Southern Ontario. Wait till you get north of Barrie if you're going to Northern Ontario. If you're going east of Toronto, you want to fill up in cottage country there. Same for Muskoka. Now, some places will be a little higher, but generally speaking, prices are at least 5 to 10 cents a liter cheaper right now. And they're going to be another 8 to 9 cents cheaper on top of that.
And with the many drivers hitting the road this weekend, police say they'll be busy keeping drivers safe.
Your safety and the safety of everyone else's is on the road depends on the choices you make behind the wheel. So we're asking drivers to slow down, drive sober, avoid distractions, and make sure everyone is wearing a seatbelt. It takes a few seconds, and those seconds are very important, and they can have lifelong consequences.
Thibault says officers will also be on lakes and ATV trails this weekend, while McTagg says these hobbies won't be getting the same break as drivers at the pumps.
It's a bit of a game. Same for diesel. Gas stations don't make money on regular. They make it on premium, they make it on diesel, and they certainly make it on the beef jerky in their stores.
While the next few days offers more affordable gas for drivers, the OPP reminds them to be aware of conditions and to drive with care and caution to ensure everyone has a safe long weekend. Madison Merrier, CTV News, Sudbury.
For 3 weeks, the Aviation campus at North Bay's Canadore College has hosted air cadets from across the country in an aircraft maintenance training program. They've been learning all about standard safety maintenance and inspections for aircraft. CTV's Eric Tashner has more.
Phoenix Graham and Ender Giroux have their hands on the controls in the cockpit flying an aircraft simulator.
Been a great experience to use those because myself, I've never done anything piloting wise except for just the theory.
They're 2 of 20 air cadets who have been at Canadore's Aviation campus for the last 3 weeks, getting hands-on training in aircraft maintenance.
All of that is really useful to pretty much any career in aviation.
The college offered the program before the pandemic, but this is the first time it's returned to the school since then.
The need for aircraft and maintenance engineers is extremely high. It's a great time to be young and have a passion and interest in aviation.
As a designated military-connected college, Canadore says it's committed to supporting members of the armed forces, veterans, and youth programs that help develop skilled professionals.
We're hoping that our team motivated and inspired them to pursue really interesting careers that will contribute to the Team Canada Strong initiative.
Leading up to graduation, cadets have been putting their knowledge and skills to good use in several areas.
Yesterday we learned a lot about avionics, which is the electricity components, what different instruments do, how they work, how that affects the aircraft.
This course has made me really start considering coming here for college. There's a whole lot of really interesting stuff with the trades.
With various career paths in aviation, the training cadets have received is highly transferable.
I've been interested in aviation for a long while. I knew that I wanted to do something with planes.
Which means if cadets pursue aviation-type work jobs in the future, they'll be part of the next generation of aircraft specialists. Eric Tashner, CTV News, North Bay.
And coming up here on CTV News at 5, the Sudbury Wolves introduce their first-round draft pick, plus a Sudbury athlete switching from hockey to soccer at the national level. For stories coming up. A Sudbury athlete who's competed for Canada in hockey is trying her hand at soccer on the national level. But the switch is made even more extraordinary because she's blind. CTV's Angela Gemmel has the story.
Right post. Left post. Center. Amanda Provan's mother gives her audio cues as the two get in some practice on the pitch. The blind hockey player is trying a new sport.
Blind soccer has given me a kind of a new aspect on teamwork where you're seriously relying on your other teammates and your coaches because you don't have any use of any vision that you may have.
Legally blind since birth, Provan has just 3% vision, but that hasn't stopped her. She's been playing hockey since the age of 12 and was the first woman to play on the Canadian national blind hockey team. She says she tried blind soccer a year ago and this past May was asked to be part of the national women's team.
I'm a bit of a para-sport enthusiast, so I'm game to try whichever sports come my way, and mostly I'm looking for a Paralympic route because I have a dream of taking part in the Paralympic Games.
Blind soccer is an adaptive version with a few differences. The pitch is smaller with kickboards. Teams are made up of 5 players, all wearing eye shades regardless of their level of vision. Sighted goalies provide verbal direction during games, and there's an auditory ball.
Obviously, without the sense of sight, it really increases people's awareness of what they're listening for, but also the communication that's being provided to them. So it needs to be succinct, on point, and fast.
Matt Greenwood coaches Canada's women's blind soccer team. He says given Provan's athletic background, it's been a smooth transition from hockey to soccer.
Sometimes it does look a little bit like hockey getting kind of crushed up against the boards with 2 or 3 players. And Amanda is just more than comfortable to be in that environment and kind of physically strong enough to hold off an opposition player.
Provan will head with the team to Brazil this September when Canada participates in the American Championship. Angela Gemmell, CTV News, Sudbury.
The Sudbury Wolves are already preparing for the upcoming OHL season, which gets underway by mid-September. Today at Dynamic Earth in Greater Sudbury, the team introduced its first-round draft pick, Cash Quaje. He was selected 5th overall and is coming off a season where he scored 28 goals and added 35 assists.
I have a high hockey IQ that I just want to show that I work my hardest in every area and every aspect of the game, and just that I'm a great teammate who will do anything for his teammates.
He's going to make, I think, instant offense to our lineup. Last season at some points we were relying on, certain guys to carry the bulk of the scoring, and I think he can jump right in and add to that. And for me, it really doesn't matter if he's 16 or a guy's 20. If he's one of our best players, he's going to play the most minutes, and he's going to work towards that to push guys so that he's a guy going out there in key situations.
The Wolves training camp begins in just a few weeks. When we return, Amanda Hicks chats with Lee Aaron, who will soon perform in Sudbury. You're watching First at 5.
The 5th annual Her Northern Voice Music Festival kicks off in Sudbury this August, celebrating 6 days of female musicians from across Northern Ontario and beyond. Headlining opening night is rock icon and Canadian Music Hall of Fame nominee Lee Aaron, who will undoubtedly set the stage on fire Friday, August 7th at the Grace Hartman Amphitheatre. Lee joins us via Zoom from British Columbia. Lee, thanks so much for joining us.
Oh, it's my absolute pleasure to be here.
And you're kicking off the festival. How does it feel to set the tone for a festival celebrating women in music?
Well, I'm absolutely honored. I'm an Ontario girl, so I lived there for many years, and it's wonderful for me to be involved in these festivals, and especially, I'm seeing a little more of a trend these days toward leaning toward really celebrating female Canadian talent. And so, it's such an honor. Susan Aglukark and Chantal Kraviezek are amazing artists. And what I also love about this festival is the way that the Sudbury Performance Group has really branched out and created quite a bit of diversity in terms of just our musical styles, the genres. So yeah, we're kicking off Friday night with a set of all my hits, classic rock, and again, it's just amazing to be involved in something that's so diverse and just celebrating female talent. So yeah, I'm excited.
Amazing. And final question, your shows are always high octane. What can Sudbury audiences expect when you take the stage?
It's going to be a really, really amazing experience. And you know what else is so great about these days is sometimes I go to these shows and it's like, I see like Dad, but I also see Grandpa, who's a fan. And Dad has brought, his daughter, who's, 10 or 12 or 18 years old, and I get to see multi-generations of people coming to my shows. So it's really incredible. And that's so rewarding for me.
Multi-generational for sure. I love that. Lee, thanks again for chatting with us.
Oh, my absolute pleasure. I can't wait till August 7th. It's going to be such a fun show. Hope to see people there. Yeah.
That was Lee Aaron. She takes the stage Friday, August 7th. You can find the full lineup at sudburyperformance.ca.
Our first community close-up takes us to the township of Macker, south of North Bay. Stephanie Carlton is sharing a photo of her pumpkin plant growing beautifully in her garden. I also have a couple at home, and I have to say the flowers they bloom are so beautiful, looking like bright stars among all the green leaves. Fingers crossed you get a nice big pumpkin from that plant. Thanks for sharing. Next, we're off to Kanagamishi Lake in the Timmins area, and Sean Harris captured a few photos of this week's full moon. He says these were taken at his cottage, and I just love how it lights up the sky and creates the perfect spotlight on the water. What a beautiful northern view. And in Sault Ste. Marie, Bruce Lee is sharing a spectacular sunset. He says people at the park were amazed by the sky on the second last day of July. I can see why. It's almost like a painting. And hey, I love the poetry in your description. Thanks for this, Bruce. And if you have any pictures, videos, or events you'd like us to showcase, email them to us at communitycloseup@bellmedia.ca. Whatever you get up to on the long weekend, we'd love to see it. Include your name, location, and a short description. And there is more news for the North coming up at 6. For now, continue watching as we hand things over to CTV National News.